Imagine a world where every question you've ever asked about life's mysteries is met with answers that are both awe-inspiring and terrifying. The Book of Revelation holds a series of prophecies that captivate and unsettle us, unraveling visions that are as haunting as they are enlightening. These aren't just predictions. They're vivid portrayals of humanity's greatest trials, each one revealing a hidden truth. But what if each of these prophecies isn't just about the distant future, but holds meaning for your life today? Many have wondered about these chilling prophecies, yet few understand the real impact they have on our daily lives. Could these messages, so shrouded in symbolism, actually be hints to navigating the challenges we face? From the mysterious Four Horsemen to the ultimate judgment, each prophecy serves as a guide, pushing us to look within and ask, are we prepared? Are we living in alignment with what truly matters? As we dive into these 10 prophecies, we'll uncover not just the warnings they hold, but the lessons hidden within. You'll find that each one speaks to real, everyday battles, struggles between right and wrong, strength and temptation, hope and despair. Get ready to explore the meanings behind these powerful symbols, to uncover insights that could transform the way you view life's challenges. But beware, because once you see these truths, there's no going back. Are you ready to confront these mysteries head-on? Because in these prophecies, you may just discover truths that redefine what you thought you knew about life, faith, and the future. In a world filled with challenges and hidden messages, the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse rise as symbols of judgment, echoing through the ages with dire warnings. Each horseman isn't merely a figure. They represent universal crises: conquest, war, famine, and death. Imagine each one as a lesson in human vulnerability, showing us how societies can crumble under the weight of power struggles, resource shortages, and conflict. They remind us of how civilizations, from ancient Rome to modern nations, have fallen due to these very forces. This isn't just a story, it's a warning that history could repeat itself. Conquest rides first, showing how ambition, though essential, can consume everything. Think of it like that burning drive some entrepreneurs have, which is good, but only if balanced with empathy and ethics. Ever seen those business moguls who built empires, only to lose them because they sacrificed integrity for power? It's a fine line, isn't it? Conquest challenges us to recognize our ambitions, but warns us against letting them overshadow our humanity. Next time you're aiming for success, ask yourself, what am I willing to sacrifice for it? Then comes war, representing the clash of ideologies, egos, and territories. It's not just about nations, but about personal battles too. Think of two families feuding for years over pride, or friends breaking apart over small misunderstandings. War challenges us to confront our conflicts, but with wisdom, not with blind aggression. Imagine the peace we'd have if each person sought understanding rather than revenge. Next time you find yourself on the verge of a heated debate, consider what's truly worth fighting for. Famine, the third rider, symbolizes the scarcity that follows devastation, often self-inflicted. We might not face literal famine, but haven't we seen this in our lives? Moments when resources, be it time, energy, or even love, feel painfully limited. Think about how financial struggles often arise not from lack of income but from overspending. Famine urges us to be stewards of what we have, to nurture and respect resources rather than waste them. It's the reminder to live within our means so we're not left empty-handed. And finally, death rides, not as a morbid figure, but as a reality check. Everyone fears it, yet it's the one certainty we all share. Death reminds us of life's impermanence, urging us to embrace each day, to pursue what truly matters rather than waiting for a better time. Think of those stories where people, faced with their mortality, discover purpose in the simple, everyday moments. So, what would you do differently today if you knew time was limited? The Great Tribulation represents a time of unprecedented hardship, a test of faith where true resilience shines. It's not just a distant biblical event, but a symbol of the dark seasons we all face in life. Imagine those moments when everything seems against you, yet something keeps you holding on. During such times, people find strength in their beliefs, and that inner fortitude becomes a beacon. Just like those who endure the tribulation with faith are promised redemption, every struggle we face can lead to growth if we hold on to what matters most. During this period, People often turn to their core values, the pillars they've built their lives upon. Think about individuals who, when faced with personal or financial crises, lean on their families or communities for support. It's similar to the Great Tribulation, where connection and faith provide hope. Consider what pillars you rely on when life turns challenging. Those are your anchors. When things seem unbearable, leaning on your foundation can offer the strength to endure. The Great Tribulation also teaches about resilience, the kind that's born through facing trials head-on. Imagine the single mother working 2 jobs to provide for her children, or the student who perseveres despite financial struggles. These are real-world examples of tribulation and triumph. It's easy to give in to despair, but those who find purpose in their struggle often emerge stronger, with a newfound perspective on life. Next time you face adversity, remind yourself it's part of your growth. This concept also brings to light the importance of community, especially during dark times. In the same way that people gather for support during a crisis, the Great Tribulation highlights how collective strength can uplift. Imagine a neighborhood rallying together after a natural disaster. This solidarity is the reminder that, even in the worst of times, we're not alone. Think about who you turn to during challenges. Cherish those connections, as they're your lifeline. Lastly, the Great Tribulation serves as a preparation, teaching us that hardships can refine and transform us. Just as fire purifies gold, our struggles can cleanse and strengthen our character. Look at athletes who undergo intense training to reach their goals. They understand that the pain is a path to victory. Reflect on your life. What hardships have shaped who you are? Remember, trials are not just obstacles but stepping stones to resilience and redemption. The 7 bowls of God's wrath serve as sobering reminders of consequences, symbolizing the severe punishments that follow humanity's actions. Picture each bowl as a warning, illustrating how neglect and harm toward others and the earth can eventually spiral into destructive consequences. Just as we see environmental crises arising from pollution and climate change, these bowls remind us that unchecked actions have repercussions. It's a call to think about how our everyday choices shape the future, both for us and for generations to come. These bowls, representing different plagues and calamities, underscore the need for respect toward creation. For instance, one bowl speaks of waters turning to blood, symbolizing poisoned resources. Think of regions today suffering from water scarcity or contamination, affecting millions. It's a reminder of how precious our resources are and how crucial it is to protect them. Imagine the impact if each person committed to conserving water, reducing waste, and supporting sustainability. Small actions can ripple out into real change. In another bowl, people are afflicted by scorching heat, a portrayal of intense suffering. It's similar to the struggles we see in areas hit by severe droughts and rising temperatures. Just as in the biblical tale, these extreme conditions challenge us to find solutions and compassion for those impacted. Consider ways to mitigate this, whether through supporting green initiatives or simply raising awareness. The choices we make daily affect not only our lives, but the collective experience of humanity. The bowls of wrath also touch on the emotional and spiritual turmoil that comes from ignoring wisdom. Imagine the stress and emptiness that often come from relentless ambition without balance, leading to burnout. This wrath isn't just physical but also emotional, reminding us of the importance of harmony in our lives. To counter this, finding ways to balance work with personal growth or spiritual practice can provide resilience against the pressures of modern life. After all, peace isn't just the absence of turmoil, it's the presence of purpose. Ultimately, these bowls serve as a call for mindfulness, encouraging us to examine our choices before they lead to irreversible consequences. Think of it like the damage caused by overindulgence. Eventually, it catches up, whether through health issues or strained relationships. Taking responsibility for our actions today can prevent tomorrow's regrets. What small steps can you take right now to foster a better future, not only for yourself but for others around you? The mark of the beast represents a choice, a symbol of loyalty and allegiance, often viewed as the ultimate test of one's values. Imagine being faced with a decision that challenges your core beliefs, one that forces you to weigh personal gain against your integrity. This mark isn't just a literal symbol. It's a reminder of those moments in life where shortcuts or compromises lure us away from our principles. In today's world, The mark could be anything that tempts us to sacrifice what matters most for fleeting rewards. For many, the idea of the mark of the beast might seem like something distant or surreal, but it reflects very real dilemmas. Consider how, in business or personal life, some may encounter situations where ethics are put to the test. Think about the times people might justify minor dishonesties, assuming no one will notice. The mark serves as a reminder that these small choices add up, each one solidifying a path. Imagine if every choice you made aligned with your highest values. How would your life be different? One powerful aspect of this mark is its role in identity and belonging. Accepting it, in the biblical context, symbolizes a commitment to values that contradict faith. But even today, many feel pressure to conform or compromise their beliefs to fit in or avoid standing out. Have you ever felt the pull to blend in? Even when it went against what you truly believed? The mark calls attention to these moments, urging us to stand firm, even when the majority may choose otherwise. True freedom often means choosing principles over popularity. The mark of the beast also serves as a warning about dependency, what we attach ourselves to and what we allow to define us. In our world, it's easy to become reliant on external validation, wealth, or status symbols. These can become marks in their own way, influencing our choices. Consider how some get trapped in cycles of materialism or competition, constantly chasing more rather than fulfillment. Imagine the peace that comes from choosing contentment over constant striving, from marking your life with values that truly matter. Ultimately, the mark reflects a choice between temporary comfort and enduring truth. It's like the decision to build a house on rock versus sand. One may take longer, require more effort, but it withstands the storms. This symbolic mark challenges us to examine where we place our loyalty and asks us to reflect on the legacy we want to leave behind. If every action today left a mark, what would you want yours to say? Up to this point, we've explored some incredible prophecies, but now I want to hear from you. Which of these prophecies has impacted you the most so far? Is there one that made you reflect or carries a lesson for your life? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear everyone's perspective and discuss these powerful messages together. The beast and the false prophet represent forces of deception, manipulation, and control, working to sway humanity from truth. Think of them as embodiments of the times in life when persuasive voices, often influential, charismatic, mislead, appealing to our fears or desires. This isn't just a far-off concept. It's a reminder to be discerning, especially in a world filled with information. Imagine how often people get swayed by convincing ads, trends, or even social influencers without questioning their intent. The beast and the false prophet remind us of the power of influence, for better or worse. The false prophet, in particular, symbolizes figures who present half-truths with a semblance of authority, making them all the more believable. We've all seen this. Those who claim to know the way, whether in finance, self-help, or even social movements, only for their motives to eventually surface. It's similar to how some products are advertised as life-changing yet fall short. This figure teaches the importance of critical thinking and not accepting everything at face value. It's a reminder to question, seek multiple perspectives, and trust your inner sense of truth. The beast, on the other hand, is a figure of control, often luring people into dependency. It's the equivalent of getting too comfortable with conveniences that ultimately control us, like technology or consumer habits. Ever felt that pull to check your phone constantly or felt uneasy without it? The beast is a metaphor for these dependencies, urging us to reclaim our agency. Breaking free isn't easy, but even small steps, like digital detoxes or limiting screen time, can restore a sense of control. What's one habit you could limit today to regain a bit of freedom? Together, the beast and false prophet also challenge us to examine our attachments, what we trust, believe in, and follow. In a world where trends change rapidly, it's easy to latch on to whatever feels popular or comfortable. But their presence in this prophecy is a reminder that stability and wisdom don't come from the latest craze. Think of it like investing in skills that last, rather than quick trends that fade. How might your life look if you built on solid values rather than fleeting promises? Ultimately, these figures remind us to stay true to our core principles, even in the face of persuasive voices. It's like standing firm on a mountain, while the winds of change try to push you off balance. This prophecy challenges us to hold fast to what we know is right, seeking knowledge and wisdom instead of mere appearances. So, in a world full of voices, which ones do you choose to listen to? The Battle of Armageddon represents the ultimate showdown between good and evil, a climactic struggle that brings finality to long-standing conflicts. Picture it as the moment of truth, where all values, choices, and actions come into focus, tested by fire. We see this on smaller scales in our lives. Those pivotal moments where we're called to stand by our beliefs, or choose a path that feels right, despite obstacles. Armageddon isn't just a battlefield in prophecy. It's a symbol of the internal battles we all face, urging us to remain resolute in the face of challenge. In this final battle, forces of good clash against evil, revealing the true essence of each. Think about how, in life, difficult times often reveal people's true character. Ever seen someone's real strength shine through during a crisis? It's similar to Armageddon. Pressures and conflicts show us who we are and what we stand for. These are the moments that define us. Much like this battle defines the end of one era and the beginning of another. When you face your own battles, what parts of yourself come forward? Armageddon also illustrates the victory of purpose and faith over doubt and fear. Imagine facing an intimidating task, perhaps a career shift, a major project, or even a personal challenge, and feeling the urge to retreat. It's easy to let fear or doubt convince us that we're not ready or worthy. But like those who persevere in this battle, every act of courage brings you closer to success. Taking even one small step each day can lead you to victory over your own doubts. In the prophecy, Jesus ultimately triumphs, establishing a kingdom of peace. This victory reflects the idea that true peace isn't found by avoiding struggle, but by confronting it. Imagine a life free of unresolved tensions, where inner peace comes not from evading challenges, but from meeting them head-on. Every time you stand up for what's right, even in small situations, you're building your own kingdom of integrity. Think about one small area in your life where you could bring more peace by facing the issues instead of avoiding them. Finally, the Battle of Armageddon teaches that every struggle has a purpose, a promise of something greater on the other side. Just like athletes train for years for a single competition, or how hard work in a career eventually pays off, Armageddon reminds us that there is a reward for resilience. Each challenge can lead to growth, a new beginning, or even a deeper sense of meaning. So, what are you battling for? And what victory do you envision on the other side? The resurrection of the dead symbolizes hope beyond the end, a promise that life doesn't end in defeat, but transforms into something greater. This idea is like planting a seed in winter, knowing it'll bloom in spring. It's about believing that even the hardest moments hold potential for renewal. Many find comfort in this promise, especially when faced with loss or life's uncertainties. Think of those who go through tough times, yet rise with fresh perspectives. The resurrection reminds us that setbacks can lead to a richer, more profound sense of purpose. In this promise, faith becomes an anchor. Imagine facing the fear of change, perhaps a job loss, a major move, or the end of a relationship. It's unsettling, but the belief that something better awaits can provide strength to move forward. Resurrection shows that endings can be new beginnings, encouraging us to hold on to hope when life's path seems unclear. The next time you face an unexpected turn, consider it a chance to rise in a new way, stronger and wiser than before. The idea of resurrection also speaks to personal transformation. Just as a person may rise with new life after a period of difficulty, this prophecy suggests that we, too, can resurrect our lives. Think of those who reinvent themselves after a failure, like athletes returning stronger after an injury, or entrepreneurs bouncing back from setbacks. This notion isn't only about physical renewal. It's about rising in spirit, passion, and resolve. What's one area of your life you could breathe new life into today? Resurrection symbolizes the triumph over fear, especially the fear of failure or change. Often, fear keeps people from reaching their full potential, holding them back from dreams and goals. The resurrection of the dead challenges this, suggesting that even in the darkest times, hope and courage lead to renewal. It's like that push you give yourself to keep going, even when every door seems closed. By choosing courage over fear, you're aligning with the idea of resurrection. moving toward a future that may surprise you with its possibilities. Ultimately, resurrection is about embracing life's impermanence and seeing each day as a chance to start anew. Every morning is a small resurrection with the opportunity to redefine, to try again, and to live with intention. Imagine how life would look if you woke up each day with a mindset to renew and rise above yesterday's challenges. The resurrection reminds us that, no matter what, there's always a chance to grow and transform. The New Jerusalem represents a vision of ultimate fulfillment, a place of beauty, peace, and divine perfection. Imagine a city where every corner reflects harmony, a place where all pain, struggle, and fear dissolve into contentment and joy. It's not just a future promise. It's a reminder of the kind of city we can build within ourselves, a place of peace and purpose amid life's chaos. The New Jerusalem symbolizes the reward of a life lived in integrity, where every action contributes to a world filled with light. What kind of world would you create if peace was your foundation? This vision also highlights the power of community. The New Jerusalem isn't a place for isolated individuals. It's a gathering of souls living in unity. Think about how enriching a close-knit community can be. A neighborhood that supports each other, a family that gathers for holidays, or friends who celebrate each other's successes. Imagine if everyone in your life worked together to build something bigger than themselves, creating a city of kindness and mutual support. It's a reminder that community strengthens us and that we're better together. The New Jerusalem also symbolizes purity, a life free of the mistakes and regrets that often weigh people down. It's like living without the baggage of the past, free to focus on growth and goodness. Imagine shedding your own past regrets and starting each day with a fresh outlook. This city is a metaphor for the renewal we can experience when we let go of guilt and allow ourselves to fully live in the present. How much lighter would life feel if you approached each day as a clean slate? Beyond that, the New Jerusalem is a place where aspirations are realized, a dream fulfilled. Think of the personal goals and aspirations you hold close. Perhaps a fulfilling career, a healthy family, or a life of purpose. The New Jerusalem reminds us that these dreams are within reach if we remain committed and steadfast. Much like someone working toward a lifelong goal, just as this city is built on a foundation of hope and effort, so too are our dreams. What step can you take today to move closer to your vision? Finally, the New Jerusalem symbolizes the beauty of balance, where peace and purpose coexist. Imagine a life where work and rest, ambition and contentment, dreams and reality, all harmonize perfectly. This city is a vision of what we can achieve when we live with intention, making space for both progress and peace. It challenges us to ask, what steps can we take today to build a life that mirrors this balance? The two witnesses stand as powerful symbols of truth and resilience. Two figures who remain unshaken in their purpose, even in the face of opposition. Imagine them as the voices that speak up when no one else will, like individuals in society who hold firm to their beliefs, regardless of the prevailing trends. They remind us of the strength required to stand by one's convictions, to speak truth even when it's uncomfortable. Consider those moments when you felt the need to stand your ground. These witnesses serve as a reminder that holding on to truth is a noble pursuit. Their message goes beyond words. It's one of action and resilience. Imagine two people unwavering in their purpose despite adversity. Think of activists who work tirelessly for causes they believe in, or those who stay true to their mission despite setbacks. The two witnesses embody this spirit, challenging us to persist even when the road is difficult. In moments of doubt, ask yourself, what values are worth standing up for, even if others disagree? The two witnesses also represent the idea of restoration, showing that their message and purpose endure beyond challenges. They return to life after facing death, symbolizing renewal and the power of legacy. It's similar to the impact of inspiring figures who, long after they've passed, continue to influence through their work. Think of scientists, artists, and leaders whose ideas live on. This concept invites us to think about the legacy we're building. What impact will your life have long after you're gone? These witnesses hold the ability to perform miracles, demonstrating the extraordinary power of faith. Think of those who overcome insurmountable odds through belief, like individuals who beat the odds in sports, health, or personal struggles. Their story shows that having a purpose can fuel resilience, enabling people to achieve what others might deem impossible. Next time you feel discouraged, remember the two witnesses as symbols of faith's power to transcend obstacles. Finally, the two witnesses remind us that truth often has a cost, but it's worth the price. They face persecution but remain true to their mission, showing that sometimes standing for what's right requires sacrifice. Think of people in history who fought for justice despite personal losses. This idea challenges us to ask, what values or beliefs would you stand up for, regardless of the consequences? The two witnesses teach that in standing for truth, we make a lasting difference. The final judgment represents the moment of ultimate accountability, a time when every action and choice comes into focus. Imagine standing before a mirror reflecting not just your appearance but every decision you've made, moments of kindness, compassion, and even mistakes. The final judgment isn't meant to inspire fear. It's a powerful reminder of the importance of our daily choices and how they shape our lives. Picture this as an opportunity to evaluate your life, encouraging you to align your actions with the person you truly want to be. In this judgment, both justice and mercy come into play, showing that each choice has weight but also the potential for redemption. Think of it like a performance review, not just pointing out flaws but offering room for growth. Just as a teacher grades with understanding, the final judgment reflects on the whole picture of our lives. It challenges us to focus not on perfection, but on striving toward our best selves. How different might your choices be if you approached each day with this perspective in mind? This ultimate moment also emphasizes the value of compassion and kindness, those small gestures that leave a lasting impact. Think about how simple acts, like offering help to a stranger or supporting a friend, contribute to a larger legacy. The final judgment reminds us that it's often the small, selfless acts that matter most. Imagine if every interaction was seen as a chance to add to this legacy. What small actions could you take today that would leave a positive mark? The final judgment serves as a reminder that true fulfillment comes from living with purpose, rather than seeking superficial rewards. Think of the satisfaction that comes from meaningful work or helping others, compared to the fleeting pleasure of material gains. Just as this judgment weighs our intentions, it invites us to prioritize values over validation. What if your life was measured by purpose rather than status? How might this change the way you live each day? Finally, the final judgment opens the door to a renewed world, where balance and peace prevail. It's a reminder that each of us has the power to contribute to this ideal, to create a world where harmony replaces conflict. Imagine a world where each person lived with respect and compassion for others, building a foundation of peace. This prophecy challenges us to ask, what legacy will we leave behind, and how will we contribute to a better tomorrow? As we journeyed through these prophecies, each one revealed a layer of truth, challenging us to reflect on our choices and values. The real question now is, how will you use these insights? Will you let the symbolism of the Four Horsemen and the promise of the New Jerusalem stay as distant concepts, or will you take them as invitations to change? Imagine if every day you chose to embody the courage, resilience, and purpose these prophecies call for. What kind of impact could you make? Think about the moments where you might have to stand firm in your values, or when life pushes you to rise above fear, much like the two witnesses. Or consider how the concept of resurrection could inspire you to renew areas of your life that feel stagnant or unfulfilled. Each prophecy is more than a story. It's a challenge to become someone stronger, more compassionate, and aware of your place in the world. So, which prophecy resonated with you the most? Which one do you feel the pull to apply in your life right now? As you ponder these questions, remember that these lessons aren't just ancient warnings. They're tools for today. If you're ready to keep exploring, to dive even deeper, and uncover how these messages connect to our lives, subscribe and turn on notifications. Together, we'll continue this journey, finding answers and courage in these timeless prophecies.